Hi, I'm Mrs. Navarre, and this is my Mad Science experiment. Today we're going to be doing the lava lamp, and I'm going to show you how to do it so you can do this at home. It's a really fun experiment and something that you really love to try. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before you get started, you want to make sure that you get all your materials together. So one thing that you're going to need is the cooking oil. You want to have some water, a clear bottle, and then if you happen to have a funnel around the house, that's a useful tool to have as well. Some food coloring, and then you want to have some sort of a fizzy tablet. Alka-Seltzer works really well, and then this is just a generic brand of the Alka-Seltzer, and it's definitely less expensive. I bought this at Walmart, so this has 36 tablets in it, so just the more you have of the fizzy tablets, the funner the experiment is. So go ahead and get everything that you need. I also like to have a work tray just to keep all my materials together, and so now I'm ready to start the science experiment. All right, so I'm ready to start my science experiment. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some water in this bottle. And I only want the bottle filled about a quarter of the way, so I've got about 4 ounces of water here. I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in first. Okay, so there's my water. And then I'm going to fill the rest of it almost all the way to the top. Well, not quite, but pretty full. I'm going to go ahead and pour some oil. This bottle I already had open, so I'm going to go ahead and use this bottle and then just pour it in there pretty close to the top. And you can see what's happening already. The water and the cooking oil are just kind of bubbling together. All right, so I think that's good enough. I'm going to go ahead and take out my funnel and then move that to the side. And then what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and add a couple drops of my food coloring. And if you can see what's happening here, you can kind of see that this top part is the oil and then down here is the water. So something to think about. What do you think is going to happen when I add the food coloring? Where do you think it's going to settle, or do you think it's going to kind of mix in with everything? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, so scientists are always making predictions, always thinking, so be thinking about that. And then I'll go ahead, I picked blue, any color will work, but I went ahead and I picked blue. That just seems like it would be the most vibrant. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a few drops in there. 1, 2, 3, actually I'm going to kind of get carried away, pour a couple extra. And you can kind of see that the food coloring is actually dropping down to the bottom and it's mixing with the water. Okay, I'm going to give that a second just to kind of settle. Okay, so then I went ahead and I pulled out my antacids, and this packet actually comes with 2 in it, so I went ahead and I broke one of them up into about, it kind of crumbled on me, so there's actually more like 6 pieces, but just go ahead and, like I said, just broke it in half there. So I've got lots of little pieces, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my tablet to the mixture here. And again, I'm going to make a prediction. What do I think is going to happen when I go ahead and drop this in? I can see that the water and the food coloring have kind of settled to the bottom, and the oil is kind of up here. But what's going to happen when I put this antacid in? So let's go ahead and see what happens. And it definitely sunk to the bottom, and now I can see bubbles that are starting to come up to the top. And if you look closely, you can see that now these bubbles are starting to turn colors. And so this is where you get the lava lamp effect. It's kind of just moving those bubbles up to the top, and as they reach the top for air, they're kind of going back down. So this is why it's really fun to do this experiment at home, because you can kind of see this a little bit more closely and just take a look at what's happening. And so because I'm a mad science, I always like to go a little bit crazy with things and see, just kind of think, what's going to happen if I add an extra one? What you'd really want to do is kind of wait a little bit until the bubbles kind of stop fizzing, and then you can go ahead and get your lava lamp going again. But I've got a whole box of these to go through, so I'm just going to add a couple more and see if adding more makes a difference. Because again, as a scientist, I want to be thinking about what happens when I do this, or what happens if I do that. and trying different things. So just to get a little bit more crazy, you can see that I'm really bubbling up here. What happens if I add a little bit more food coloring to my lava lamp? Is it still going to sink to the bottom? Although I just got it all over my bottle. Is the food coloring still going to sink to the bottom, or is it going to pop up before it even has a chance to get down there? So this is really a fun experiment to try at home. Just kind of keep playing around with it, adding some more fizzies, little tablets to the lava lamp, and just kind of watch it bubble up. So I've been playing with my lava lamp for a while now, and you can see that the bubbles are starting to settle. So of course if I added another tablet, it would probably get started all over again. So as a scientist though, I want to just kind of keep trying out different things, maybe adding a different color food coloring. What happens if I mix those two things together, the blue and another color? Are the bubbles going to combine? Are the colors going to combine? Are they going to stay separate? So kind of experiment. See, just really go crazy and see what happens. The other thing you want to do is you want to reflect on what happens. You want to reflect on the whole process. So think back about when I added the water and then I added the oil on top of that. What happened to those two ingredients? And then when I added the food coloring, what happened? What happened after I added the tablets? When I add more tablets to it, what effect does it have on it? So again, as a scientist, you always want to be trying new things, reflecting, and just kind of think about why are those kinds of things happening. So that's kind of what makes science such a fun thing, is there's really just so many different ways to play around with it. So I have other science experiments available on video, so you can check those out. I also have a couple packets available, so you can check out the links below if you're interested. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, bye.